Hello, mathematicians, and welcome to Similar Triangles. So unfortunately, I couldn't find a good YouTube video for you guys, so I'm just gonna do it myself. So similar triangles are triangles that are basically similar. So the actual definition is similar triangles are triangles that have been scaled up or down. Now, I don't really have a worksheet for you guys, but hopefully you guys are following along. So I'm going to give you guys a quick example. I drew this purple triangle over here. So if I were to copy this, give me a second, and paste it, but let's say I scale it up to twice its size, then these two are similar triangles. Likewise, if I were to paste it again but shrink it instead, these are similar triangles. And the reason we say similar triangles, so let's go ahead and mark it A, B, and C. So triangles A, B, and C are similar. Now, the reason we say similar and not congruent or equal is because when we say congruent or equal, we are assuming that their sides are equal. And since we scale them up or down, then that is definitely not true. None of these have the same side to each other. The angles, however, sometimes are, or usually are, not sometimes, they are the same. But the reason we do not say congruent is because their sides are not congruent. Now, there's different ways to test or to check if triangles are similar. So over here are my handy dandy flashcards. So there's three ways to check. The first one is angle, angle. So if we look over here, and if we were to get a protractor, this angle is going to be the same as this angle and this angle. It might not look like it. This angle probably looks a lot bigger, but it just looks bigger because it's zoomed in. But if we were to measure it from, let's say here, it's probably going to be the same measure as C if I measured it from there, or A if I were to measure it from this line. So if two of these angles are the equal or congruent to one another, then these are similar triangles. And the reason we only say two is because let's remember that a triangle is equal to 180. So if two of them are the same, then the third one also by default has to be the same. So as long as you check for two, you are good. The next one is if we check for side, angle, side. So for this triangle, let me back up. Let's recap. These sides are all the same. Oh, it's side, angle, side. I'm sorry, you guys. So when we talk about sides, like I said, I had previously said, this side is not going to be equivalent or congruent to this side. Obviously, triangle B has a much larger side. But what is going to be congruent is their scale factor. So for example, if this is X, I said that I doubled the side, I doubled the triangle of A, and it is now triangle B. So this is double the size. Well, then that means that this side has to be double the side of X. Likewise, let's pretend that this side is a measure of Y, right? Then if this is similar and I scaled it up double the side, then that means that this side also has to be double. So what I'm saying is that when it comes to the sides, they have to be scaled up or scaled down at a consistent scale. So the last one, if this is Z, let's say, then for B to be a similar triangle, then this also has to be scaled up. Whoops, not by 2, but not by 3, but by 2. So these two triangles would be similar because each side is proportionate to each other at the same scale level. Let me give you an example of what would not be a triangle that is similar. So let me go ahead and get the red. Pretend we have this triangle. And let's pretend that I scaled it by 3. It doesn't look like it. I ran out of room. I'm sorry, you guys. So let's say that from this side, from angle X to over here where it's supposed to be X, it's 3. Okay? Now let's pretend that I check my Y side. So let's pretend that that side is Y. But when I check this side of my triangle, I get that it's only doubled the side. Then these two triangles would no longer be similar, because for them to be similar, they have to be scaled up at the same rate. So if X is scaling up by 3, then Y should also be scaling up by 3. But instead I have 2, so they are no longer similar. So to recap, and I'll add them on my notes over here, you are more than welcome to copy down these flashcards for yourself. So the angles can be congruent. Congruent or equal. They mean the same thing. But the sides have to be proportionate. Or scaled at the same rate. So hopefully that helped you. Go ahead and make your flashcards, and I'll see you for the next video.